super.
It's true though. It's true. And
I actually agree with you.
Huh?
I agree with you.
Exactly. It's not. Wait, did you agree with me?
Hey. Breeze past it. Nothing happened.
Very well.
How many people do you know can survive a huge hammer being bashed on their head?
Bugs Bunny.
So
Don't boo me, I'm right.
What in the Rick Boo is this? I have literal powers.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yo. Welcome.
How does that look?
To the podcast.
How does that look?
Yeah, you look fine. Let me drop my lighting real quick. Yo. What is going on? This is Unbounded. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Truth Teller. Oh, yeah, now my skin's going. Mr. Truth Teller. I got my boy Isaac, who's still, I'm watching Super Bowl 56.
I will explain why later.
Oh, well, before we get there, because I want to have all the sports stuff and kind of in the same boat. So, I want to hop right into this. And then while we're on the wrestling, we could probably talk Saturday as well. So there's
Saturday?
been Saturday. No, Saturday.
What's going on Saturday?
Royal Rumble.
That's on Saturday?
Yeah. They moved it's on Saturday because all the games are on Sunday. And they usually Royal Rumble is on Pro Bowl weekend, but with the added week to the NFL season, everything got pushed back.
I actually like this.
Yeah.
So I think it's way better. Also,
I don't know
two
what day
things.
it was. Go ahead.
Two things. The overtime. If you're going to change, I've seen a lot of people talk.
Hold on. Oh. Sports.
Right. Sorry, my ADHD kicked in. Go ahead.
All right. So there's been a big trend going on within the IWC, known as the Free Ali trend. And I wanted to hop on this immediately. I've already quote tweeted saying I'm in this. So let's talk about it. Mustafa Ali, Adil Alam has publicly requested his release from the WWE. He posted the tweet, posted it on all his social media. I want to say 2-3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And so
I feel like it was last week. I feel like it was more recent.
It's been about at least 2 weeks. So it had been reported that WWE has, as of right now, is not going to release him.
Yes.
For whatever reasons, we know that WWE can be petty. It is what it is. They can do whatever they want to because, again, it's not technically illegal. And if it is, who's going to take him to court over it? So that's basically my thing. So everybody has been doing this Free Ali thing. There has been some wrestling fans that started doing it, really hijacking the WWE on Fox's Twitter page, to where WWE on Fox, whoever has been controlling that page, has blocked a few people, to the point where it got to Ali and he blocked the WWE on Fox page. And so now today we get here and what's the dude that trained AJ Top Dollar? Chaos Project. Serpentico. Serpentico from AEW tweeted it out. Mia Yim tweeted it out today, and then I just saw that Amanda Huber tweeted it out.
I did see that one.
Which I know she kind of used her sympathies when it came to how it was handled when Brody had requested his release. So here's my thing, because now it's getting ridiculous. Yes, WWE is being petty with this.
Yes.
Very, very petty. So let me get that straight. WWE is looking very petty right now, which we know that WWE can do, and sometimes do it better than any other company. We thought TK was being petty at the end of last year. No, WWE can out petty TK in their sleep. But you remember, you know how I've always been telling you when I don't get outraged over things when it comes to WWE. You remember I was telling you about the prayer of serenity.
Yes.
This is where these things come into play. This is something that I cannot control, and I understand that I can't control it. I'm just a fan. I hope Mustafa Ali gets the release that he wants so he can go out and do what he pleases.
Like free the narrative.
Yeah, free the narrative, I think it's perfect for him. I feel like free the narrative and him possibly doing some stuff at Impact, perfect. Perfect. And I know a lot of people who are going to hate him the fact that I said he should go to Impact. I don't care. He doesn't need to go to AEW. AEW is pretty bloated right now. And
plus, if you really want to break it down, if you really think about it, and Moose said this on Twitter today, and I 100% agree with him. And maybe he has some bias, but I don't care. He said Impact is the better show than both AEW and WWE, and I had to agree with him.
I mean, look, I'm not here to sway anybody's opinion, and to be honest with you, I'm never going to give you my opinion. I'm just going to say, based on the fact that he's their champion, I expect nothing else but him to say that. If Roman Reigns were to come out right now and say that AEW is better than WWE, I feel like he's being kidnapped. When it comes down to brand pride, I expect that. So this is why, going back a few years ago, I don't understand why people were so upset when Seth Rollins said what he said about WWE. When everybody made a big before the whole comparing bank accounts. People were already going in his head when he said WWE is the best wrestling company in the world.
He did that with
He's supposed to say that.
Yeah.
That's like, it's like, let's see, you work for a company and you work for McDonald's. Well, not just any worker. You're like one of the big faces of McDonald's. Are you going to come out in the public and say, yeah, Burger King's better?
I'm going to say Taco Bell's better. But I see your point.
You are the face of McDonald's. You're going to come out in the public and say Taco Bell's better.
Yes.
You're fired. I don't care what you know.
I'll be fired.
You're not giving your spot.
I'll be fired, but I'll be right.
I mean, in your opinion, I guess. But that's the point. So, yeah, I expect Moose to say nothing but he feels that Impact has been putting on better shows than WWE. And like you said, a lot of people, including you, would agree. So back onto the thing. Can we as wrestling fans relax sometimes?
You're asking a lot there. You really are, if you really think about it.
Right. And I think that's why I guess that can see why, because like remember when JR said that Randy Orton was the best.
Yes.
And I can see why that would rub AEW people in the company. I ain't even talk about the fans right now. I don't care about y'all right now. But like the powers that be, Tony Khan and all of them, that could probably rub them the wrong way. You're saying, oh, that this guy that's not in your company is the best wrestler in the world. That ain't. But then again, it's JR, so. But I just want wrestling fans to relax a little bit. Ali's going to get released. Eventually. It may come after WrestleMania because we already know that WrestleMania, post-WrestleMania is usually around that time where they do their big cut. So it'll probably come during the big mass cuts, which they're probably saying we're not going to cut anybody else until we cut 10, 20 people. So, Ali, you just missed your time to get cut. You should have requested your release when they were releasing all the people in NXT. But in all seriousness, he's going to get his release. And 90 days from that moment, then we're going to see him do what he wants to do. But I want to put this out here. And I said this before. Where were all these people supporting Ali when he was main event Ali trying to put main event on the map?
Sleep. Quiet.
Where were all these people who quote unquote support Ali now when he was putting on bangers on 205 Live? Where will all these people that support Ali be if he goes to Impact?
Probably gone. They're not going to
Impact. My point. So you know what that tells me?
I know for a fact they're not going to Impact.
So you know what that tells me? A lot of these people riding waves just to get likes. In shorter terms, they're clout chasers. Everybody's doing this free Ali thing. Free Ali to his backers, free Ali. And then Ali in 90 days after he gets released goes to Impact. Oh, Ali's on Impact. Who watches Impact? Oh, Impact's a dead company. But you know I'm not saying that for real.
No, I know, but this is
what is said.
That is exactly what they will say.
So we've seen this with countless people that have left WWE. Yeah, you're gonna have your loyalists. You're gonna have loyal fan base. Everybody's gonna have that. People, look at all the names that have been released over the last year or two. How many of them names can you think of that people are still supporting hard right now?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. How many people are supporting Dango?
Oh, on Twitter a lot, but not wherever he is.
But they're not putting the money in the mouth is.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Vocal support is cool. These wrestlers can't live off vocal support.
Can you imagine if they could, though?
I mean, these folks be swimming in money. They be swimming in pools of money. But that's not reality. If y'all would shut up sometimes on the internet and put some money in these people's pockets, then we could get somewhere. It's always fake outrage after fake outrage when WWE does something stupid to the point where people forget, oh, we need to go support these wrestlers.
Yeah, like if you like Karrion Kross so much, order that FSW pay-per-view that's coming out this weekend.
Right.
And
the NWA,
in like 2 weeks.
Perfect example. Because a lot of former WWE superstars or in NWA. But every single time they do a pay-per-view, the numbers come out, and what happens when they see how low the numbers are?
Yeah, it's this weekend.
They laugh.
Nope.
They flat out laugh at them.
They do.
Say, ha, you couldn't sell. Well, duh, they couldn't sell because you didn't put no money in their pockets, idiot.
That FSW show is next week, by the way.
Right.
Next Friday.
So you can't sit here and laugh at the fact that they're not making money if you're not putting money in their pockets.
Especially after you said, "Oh, I like this guy. I like what this guy does," and then the other thing is you're not even watching their indie work.
What's good, Toe?
You just run up on this person, when they're in WWE, not even bother to do your research as to why they're even there in the first place. Then when they get released, you say, "Oh well,"
The thing is, it's almost like if they don't go to AEW, it doesn't matter. Or if it's not GCW, because GCW, AEW seems to be the hot things right now. Like AEW is like the WCW light, and GCW is like ECW light. You go to Impact, it's a dead company. Oh, you go to NWA, it's a dead company. MLW, they kind of got their thing going. We got to hold tight and see how things go with this lawsuit before we can really make that judgment, I guess, IWC. But
if you don't forget New Japan. People act like New Japan ain't out here.
No,
that's what Jonah Rock
left New Japan when the Elite left New Japan.
Huh?
When the Elite left, when AEW's formed, New Japan died, and a lot of these fans.
If you left New Japan when the Elite left Japan, you're trash. I'm sorry.
Just read the hashtag.
I saw the hashtag, and I appreciate you, Isaiah.
That's me and Breon's friend right there. That's the game.
If you left New Japan when the Elite left Japan, you're trash.
You're not fickle.
You're not a real New Japan fan.
They're fickle. Daniel Bryan said, and I'm saying Daniel Bryan because he said this as Daniel Bryan. When he says this is Bryan Danielson, then I'll say Bryan Danielson said it. But Daniel Bryan said these fans are fickle. That may have been written for him. I don't know, but there is a lot of truth in what he said.
It's like y'all acting like. Let's ignore Kenny Omega for a second. Y'all acting like Okada wasn't wrestling those 6-star matches. Wasn't in those 6-star matches with Kenny Omega.
Okada was just as responsible for those matches.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Y'all acting like Kenny Omega. Y'all acting like
that's the part I hate.
Y'all are acting like Kenny Omega was out there wrestling those matches himself.
That match happened at Wrestle Kingdom.
Their first match, yes.
And all I heard was Omega. I was like, what the heck about Okada? Give this man his flowers too.
The same thing with their match at Dominion. Like that last match they had
Omega.
Like Okada didn't go
Okada's
out there
right
with
there.
Disco
It takes two to tango.
Like Okada didn't go out there with disco pants and wrestle his ass off. The long pants. When he had the long pants.
Right. So it's just ridiculous how wishy-washy the IWC is when it comes to things like this. And this is why I don't really say much about it. Like, free. I mean, look, I hope Ali gets free. Like I said before, I hope he gets his papers. Let him go about his business. Give him his 90-day pay, and let him go ahead and do what he feels is necessary for his wrestling career. There's more to wrestling than WWE. He's done everything that I feel like that he was going to do in WWE. A lot happened. A lot went wrong. Don't get me wrong, because you remember he was supposed to be in Kofi's spot, and then the injury happened. And sometimes the injuries is the worst thing that could ever happen to a wrestler's push, especially when you're not an immediate go-to. You look at Samoa Joe, you look at Kenta, Ali's in that same situation. One injury can kill your entire morale, just your entire outlook when it comes to the higher ups. And that injury just did him in. But that's all I got to say about that. Let's get to some good, man. Let's get to the good. Whew. Where do we start? What a week! What a weekend, dog! What a weekend! Do you ever remember a time, whether it be regular season or no, just let's forget regular season, postseason, where all 4 games in the division round were straight up bangers?
No.
I forget who said it, but someone was like Vince McMahon. But no, I think it was Cam. Shout out to Seahawk. I think Cam said it.
He did say it. I think I did see it.
I retweeted it, so it's got to be Cam. I want to say it right, and I want to give the person credit. No, it was Public Enemy Podcast when he said Vince McMahon is booking like he booked the NFL playoffs like a beast. Like this was WrestleMania, dog. This was an amazing week of football. Let's just start off from the tippity top. We all know, Isaac knows that I'm more of a defensive-minded guy. I like defensive games. So Saturday was my week, my night. I enjoyed Saturday. Now, I know that a lot more people was going to be more into the Sunday games, but let's start on Saturday. So we started off with the Bengals and Titans. Can I just say that the Bengals are not as close to the Super Bowl as they think they are?
I don't think so either.
I don't think the Bengals are going to win. Well, we'll get to the predictions, but I just want to say I don't have the Bengals winning because the Chiefs have a good enough D line, and you saw what happened Saturday.
Mind you, hey, keep this in mind. I was watching the World on GCW at the same time, so I mean,
no, you weren't, because the World GCW was on Sunday.
Yeah, that's when the Bills Chiefs.
No. I'm on the Bengals and Titans, sir.
Oh, but yeah, no, I watched, and
he got sacked 8 times?
9
times, 9,
and still won the game.
That was because of the fact that we haven't got to Joe Burrow yet, but Ryan Tannehill threw 3 picks, even though the last one was kind of not his fault. Man set butterfingers and just like hair up in the air. But they didn't deserve to win. They didn't play well enough to win that game. Great defense. I got to give credit to both defenses, though. This is what I love, defensive football, which we got a lot more of it in the second game. And I know Isaac has a lot of takes that we're going to get to. Now, I really want we're going to deep dive into this game more so than we did the Titans and Bengals. 49ers came in there and beat the Green Bay Packers. Again, both of these games ended in walk-off field goals.
He is 0-4 against the Niners.
0-4.
But he's a bad man.
Apparently that too. Regarding the last game. But I know you said that Aaron Rodgers didn't play his best game, which is not inaccurate. However, his stats look pretty good.
Wait, who? I said that?
Yeah, you said Aaron Rodgers didn't play good. You said you said that Saturday after the game we had the conversation, and you because I'm gonna let you get. Matter of fact, go ahead with your take.
I was gonna say that if you are so, I'm a Cowboys fan, and one thing I noticed about that game. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm not saying Dak's not at fault. Okay, I'm not saying that. I am in no way saying that Dak Prescott and a whole bunch of other things in that game went wrong for us to cause us to lose that game. What I am saying is that they came in heavy on that. They were in Dak Prescott's mentions like white on rice after that game. They were all over this dude, blaming solely him for that loss, which I'm not going to tell you who to blame. You can blame whoever you want. I mean, I know who I blame, and I'm not blaming the officials, but I am saying there's no reason why that one official should have been weighed. Now,
I do understand. I understand the rule. The rules explained to me, so I understand it now.
I looked
even
at
though
that
the other
rule.
guy should have did it.
Thank you. I looked at that rule. That was my whole that whole game. That was my whole thing. I'm wondering, why is he way back here? I blame, like I said, Mike McCarthy too. I
feel like everybody had some blames to take on that loss.
Literally everybody had. Now, however, including the referees, because I talked to my dad about this. And you know, my dad, he's very level-headed. My dad, when I explained it to my dad, he was like, yeah, the officials didn't do their job.
Let's just go ahead and cut to it. The officials has been straight garbage all season.
Exactly. Hence why that entire crew who did the Raiders Bengals game
are done.
They're done.
You're done.
They're done. Now, I say all that to say, if you're going to blame anybody for this loss, blame all the things you want, because you were blaming special teams. I said blame Aaron Rodgers too. Look, Isaiah, I don't know. Again, I don't know.
You know what? This is where I blame Dak, because the play could have worked if he would have took a slide 10 yards ago. He went too far.
Look, I'm not saying Dak's not wrong.
No, I get you.
What I am saying is that they're blaming him, but they're not. My whole thing is they're blaming him, but not blaming Aaron Rodgers. They're not blaming Aaron Rodgers. They're not blaming Matt LaFleur. They're not blaming Devontae Adams. You see what I'm saying? They're killing this man, and and here's the thing: we went 12-5. The Packers were the number one seed, and they were like 13 and what? 13 and.
Hold on, they were 13 and 4.
13 and 4. They went 13 and 4 and were the number one seed, and then they got knocked out of the playoffs. Where's the dog?
But this is nothing new for the Packers, because I told you Saturday night. You remember when they went 15 and 1?
I don't care if it's nothing new for the Packers. I want them dogged. I want y'all to drag them through the mud like y'all drag us through the mud.
I'm gonna say, did Aaron Rodgers play his best game? Absolutely not. But like I told you Saturday night,
Dak Prescott didn't play his best game.
And and I'm not. You have yet to hear me blame Dak Prescott completely for that game. But I would say that he did enough to win that game for himself. If things went the way they were supposed to go the entire game, he did enough. And that's all you should be able to ask of a player, especially in the inclement weather that you had to play in. Granted, he should be used to it because he's been playing in Green Bay all his career, but that's besides the point. So 20 for 29, 225 yards, no tutties. Also, his O-line sold on him. Sacked 5 times. Granted, again, you know who else sold on him? You know who else sold on him? His receiving core. I'm going to just read you the stats for his receiving core, okay?
That defense is good, though.
They are, but listen to this. Aaron Jones was targeted 10 times. This is through the passing game. 9 catches, 129 yards. He led the team in receiving yards. Devontae Adams, 11 targets, 9 catches, 90 yards. Alan Lazard, 1 target, 1 catch, 6 yards. Mercedes Lewis, 1 target, 1 catch, 0 yards. Whoever Daphne is and Dick Ward, all these other guys, they didn't catch the ball.
Pretty sure this Equimania St. Brown is on one of those teams.
Equimania St. Brown didn't even get targeted.
Ooh. Oof. Who's he going to blame for that?
The fact that he doesn't have a legitimate second option. This is why I think he's gone. I feel like we saw him play his last game as a Packer.
I heard I was listening to sports radio this morning and somebody said Sean Payton, Dallas Cowboys collision course.
He's probably out of there. I think Jimmy G's probably playing his last season as a Niner as well.
Well, it depends on how it goes.
But then you bring up a dilemma because they just drafted Trey Lance number 3.
Well, I do like Trey Lance.
So do they keep Jimmy G for another season? So just think about the quarterback situation. You got Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, a possible with Jimmy G, a possible with Russell Wilson, a possible with Derek Carr.
By the way, this is the kind of Cokes Russell Wilson drinks.
The Mexican Coke?
No, the vintage.
No, what?
That's what
when I DoorDash, that's what they're called.
Oh.
Are you guys saying no that Jimmy G hasn't played his last season as a Niner, or
I don't
no
think he
what?
has. I think it depends on how the season goes. That's just me.
It depends on it may depend on Sunday.
That's what I'm saying. I think if he can get them to a Super Bowl and possibly win it.
But I feel like it's going to be a very interesting season off season.
But then again, you do like you said, you do have that Trey Lance, but Trey Lance isn't. He needs to develop more. He's not there. You know what I mean? Well, granted, he's a rookie, but I'm just saying,
But yeah, but the real thing that sold this game to the Niners, special teams. Why is nobody talking about the fact that special teams sold?
Nah, I'm gonna blame Aaron Rodgers.
But you can't. But you gotta think about it.
Well,
there's a 10-point differential. That
here I'll do you better. I blame the special teams coach.
No, because the execution is on the special teams.
But he's the coach.
But you still got to execute. So there is 10 points that was on the head of special teams. The first 3 points came at the block field goal and in the half. That would have made the game 10-0 at half. I believe it was 10-0 or was it 10-3? Let me double check. Yep, 10-0. It would have made it 10-0. The 49ers scored 1 touchdown. It was not by the offense.
Yeah, it was at the end.
It was because special teams sold.
Yeah. The block punt.
Again, the defense did their job.
Yes,
Aaron Rodgers did enough to give the team an opportunity to win the game. The special teams didn't come to play. And it was so funny because they were building that whole thing up the whole game about how the special teams was the worst in the league. This special team is as bad. You know what this reminds me of? Cincinnati. The Bearcats. What was their Achilles heel throughout the entire season?
Everything. Oh, well.
Special teams.
Yeah.
And the special teams for the Green Bay Packers came back and cost them the game.
Well, I was going to say in that last game for Cincinnati, it was the fact that Desmond Ridder didn't realize, hey, you can run the football. You know that, right?
Hold that thought. No, because y'all got Trey Lance.
No, yeah. Why would you want Deshaun Watson? You don't want
Deshaun Watson. I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to play until the second half of next season.
Yeah,
just to be honest.
You got, like I said, Trey Lance is good.
Which I think Tua might be on that block too. When it comes to quarterbacks that may be on different teams next year. If the Dolphins pursue another quarterback, I think Tua has got out of there. So that was the defensive part of the week. Let's move into the offensive flurries.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Sunday afternoon, we get Green Bay, Los Angeles Rams versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Rams basically saved, the Rams are probably the sole reason why the Super Bowl is probably going to have higher ratings because so many people are going to watch it.
So, I like storylines, right?
Yes, you do.
So I got the storyline that that was perfect for this. So you got the team that hosted the Super Bowl last year,
right?
going against a team that's looking to host the Super Bowl this year.
That's correct.
Because Super Bowl this year is in SoFi,
right?
Which the Rams are.
Well, they
supposedly supposedly the home team,
right?
Because we've seen there has been games where the Rams look more like the visiting team because.
Well, certainly when the Cowboys played the Chargers, there were more Chargers fans in LA than there were more Cowboys fans in LA than there were Chargers.
The same thing was said about the which is going to be interesting because again, the Rams have a home game Sunday.
Oh no!
However,
it's going to look more like a
49ers game. It's going to look more like a 49ers home game because you remember what was it, week 17?
Yeah.
It felt like the 49ers had home field advantage, which is why I said that regardless of who wins, because spoiler alert, the winner of the Super Bowl is going to be represented by the NFC West, the best division in
or the AFC North or West.
But we know the NFC West is going to be in the Super Bowl because they're the best division in the NFL. I don't think it's a question anymore.
No.
I don't think anybody can push back.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. No, you're right. I have no pushback.
I think the second best is probably the AFC West.
Yeah. Now it is now.
And you got to remember,
Justin
the Seahawks
Herbert, Patrick Mahomes.
The Seahawks are better than what their record shows.
Are y'all though?
Yes, we are.
Are you sure? You didn't look like it this season.
Again, we are better than what our record shows. You're looking at our record. I just said better what our record shows.
I'm just saying, when I watched you guys, I wasn't impressed.
Hey, peak Seahawks. You saw what peak Seahawks does. Peak Seahawks was week 17.
But y'all didn't do that the whole season, though.
Again, peak Seahawks doesn't show up all season long.
That's weird.
Hey, sometimes we peak early, sometimes we peak late. Sometimes we peak a little bit too late. That's Seahawks football for you. I don't know what you want me to tell you about that. Let's see. I'm telling you, Rams, Chiefs, Super Bowl, Rams win it. Matt Stafford goes to a new team and takes them all the way.
That's a really good storyline. You're turning Matt Stafford into Tom Brady,
but Matt Stafford, I gotta say this because Matt Stafford has been disrespected all his career.
Yes,
for the mere fact that he plays for the Detroit Lions,
but he was still going crazy there.
This man, do I need to pull up his career stats?
No, you're good. You're fine.
Because his career stats are stupid. And again, the Detroit Lions love squandering top talent players. Do I need to remind you Barry Sanders and Megatron?
No, you
People say those names all the time, but always forget Matt Stafford in that list. And now he's on a legitimate team, and he's showing you what he can do. Yet, you know what? And you know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Brett Favre.
When he went to the Vikings?
Just Brett Favre, period. Because he's gonna sling the ball. However, he's gonna turn the ball over sometimes.
Yeah.
He's liable to throw some picks. But at the same time, he's gonna sling that rock, and it ain't enough for him to get 400 yards. What did he get this week? Did he have over 400?
I know he had over 100 before the end of the first
366.
Half. That I know.
But the thing is, this boy Cooper Kupp boy.
The way he threw that ball and dropped it right in his breadbasket at the end of that game was absolutely insane. It was absolutely beautiful.
Cooper Kupp is a problem.
It was beautiful.
He is a legitimate problem, and good luck trying to stop him when he's on like he was this week. But yeah, a lot of people, because I was listening to I haven't listened to him lately, but Undisputed and Skip was heated, boy.
Oh no, I saw
Skip was
I saw the clip. He said
he was making every single excuse. Oh, he didn't have Tristan Wirfs. Oh, they had an undrafted guard playing tackle.
Shannon
He's
was
like,
all
man,
over that.
lost.
Shannon was all over that, man, bro.
Which you kind of made that point after the game Sunday. You were saying that they're basically, instead of talking about the Rams, they're talking about Tom Brady. Which I told you they do
every time.
I told you why.
I know. I understand that, and I still hate it.
Again, back to my original concept of the Serenity Prayer. This is why I'm like, okay, I understand it. This is not something that they're going to change, so I'm not going to work myself over it. It's just like I know that Tom Brady, LeBron James, Aaron Rodgers, their name in the media is automatic clicks. That's why people are still talking about Aaron Rodgers, even though he's the biggest heel in the NFL right now. I think he's the biggest heel. Who's the biggest heel right now? Him or AB?
Well, it's him now because they got rid of the heel. They got rid of AB. So,
but hold on, go ahead and explain yourself. I got to do something real quick.
I mean, they haven't. I mean,
let me see if I can do it real quick. Go ahead.
He hasn't really done anything, except
has he?
He went on. Was it? I'm an athlete. He went on there. He's hanging out with Kanye. So, which I don't know how we feel about Kanye as a heel or a babyface.
Kanye
is he heel or a babyface? Is he? Kanye's got to be at this point, dog. I would say Kanye's got to be a tweener because he's a heel when he says weird stuff, but he's a babyface. But people will babyface him easily when over his music. He dropped down and became.
He's a heel when he starts talking, but a babyface when music drops.
Seriously,
I can't find my photos, but you must not have saw what AB has said. What he had posted. Yesterday after the game.
Is it the one where he said Buccaneers lost or whatever?
Yes. And I'm trying to find it in my folder.
I saw it.
Hold on. And I was like, this dude is a straight, like, I don't know if you heard the song Super Gremlin. I'm pretty sure the song was about him.
No, that's what Shannon had as his hashtag Super
Started
Gremlin.
off with superstars. I'm sorry, that song kind of stuck in my head now.
He is a dog. So I heard one of the coldest quotes from Andy Reid during that Bills-Chiefs game. Because after the Bills scored that touchdown, right? The last touchdown before they drove down the field to kick that game-tying field goal, Andy Reid went up to Patrick Mahomes and he told him, this is so cold. He said, when life gets grim, you got to be the Grim Reaper. You have to become the Grim Reaper. And I thought that was like the coldest thing. I thought it was the coldest thing I'd ever heard in my life.
And he did it.
And he did.
And it was so funny how it happened because Isaiah agrees with you. Because I got my mom into the game. I came home for like the second half of the game. I was like, you not watching the game? I was picking with her. It's like, no, I ain't watching the game. Why in the fourth quarter, my mom up here watching the game? So I walk in, I was like, what are you doing? And so we watched the rest of regulation. And they had went down there and scored. Because I was yelling about it because Tyreek Hill ran the touchdown in. I was like, you went too fast. It was like 1 minute and 8 seconds left. I was like, you scored too quick. You scored too quick. Even though they probably should have. They could have called that play back because of the taunting. Because, the deuces, you can't do that. So they should have called that back, whatever. So they go down and score. It's like 13 seconds. I'm like, oh, shoot, this is over. It's over. I'm yelling, it's over. And then I thought about it. I was like, maybe it's not over. Because then I looked, it was like 3 timeouts left, 13 seconds. I was like, this isn't over. They're about to pull something crazy. He goes down, big dot. Harrison Butker comes out there, booted. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the craziest game that I've ever seen in my life. And I love football games like this, man. And this is why I'm not really too mad about the fact that Seattle's not in the playoffs. Because now I can sit back and just enjoy football. I just sit back and enjoy it now.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but that momentum we had.
Oh yeah, I understand you. And look, it was frustrating watching the games, but now I'm just sitting here enjoying it. Like that was great, amazing week of football. I don't think they can top it.
Somebody said we should have a best of 3.
Yo, I told Imad, because Imad's a Packers fan. I was like, y'all lost. He was like,
jackass.
I was like, the Packers out. He's like, no, we're not. We still. It's just one game. It was like, yeah, that's how that works. You lose one game out. It's a single elimination. I was like, dude, this is not the NBA.
Hey, yo. No.
This man thought I was talking about basketball. Oh my gosh. I'm never gonna let Ema live this one down, bro. I'm just letting you know now.
No, somebody did say though the Bills and Chiefs have a best of 3.
Hold on, before I'm gonna get to this real quick. There's one more thing I want to talk about with this game before we get to the predictions. He's a dog.
Yes, Josh Allen's great.
However, I'm scared for his playing style.
You scared? Oh, that runner? How he's a runner?
He's
or he
built
doesn't
like
slide.
Ben Roethlisberger. But you remember Ben Roethlisberger didn't have... This man is literally part quarterback, part running back. More so than Lamar. He's more like a power back.
I dig it. I ain't gonna lie. I dig it.
The thing, my concern is how long is his body going to be able to help contain it?
I hope long enough, honestly. Because I want to see him win a Super Bowl with the Bills.
Eventually, that's going to break you down. We've seen it with countless quarterbacks who's played that style. Russell Wilson's kind of gotten away with it because he's more of a safer side of it. You don't see him taking too many big hits unless he's being sacked. Josh Allen just go out there and say, you know what, I'm a run folk over, and he ran 2 people over.
He turns on a Marshawn Lynch.
This man 250. 250, bro. He knocked 2 dudes out of the game.
Oh my God.
2 defensive backs got knocked out by a quarterback. Where I was like, imagine getting ran over by a quarterback.
You gotta
tell your kids when they grow up.
I would say you gotta retire at that point, right?
To be fair, it's Josh Allen. Now, if it was anybody else,
like you had to believe.
You know what?
Like,
I'm gonna this up.
For example,
because you remember the big hit that Pat McAfee made.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at that because when you look at Pat, there's only one other kicker / punter that's bigger than him, and that's Fat Randy. Shout out. Because that's what I listen to much urinated transitions of the Donnas, dog. Because both of them call him Fat Randy. And Pat McAfee calls himself fat all the time. So,
well, I feel like honestly, I think Josh Norman should have retired after he got planted in the ground by Derrick Henry.
He basically did. You ain't heard from that man since.
That's true. You really have.
You might as well be retired.
Yeah, he might as well be.
I don't know who he was evidently in the playoffs, and I just didn't know it.
Like you can't recover from that. You can't. There's no way you can recover from a grown man putting his hand on your face and then pushing it into the ground.
It didn't even matter that the play didn't count anyway.
Exactly. Like
it still happened. We saw it.
Yes. Like he took his whole hand, put it against your face, and like that's not like
he went Marshawn times 20.
Yes. He was, but the worst part about that is he didn't even run through your face like Marshawn was doing. Marshawn was running through people's faces. This man just used his own hand.
No, Marshawn did that to Tracy Porter.
Oh.
I think it was Tracy Porter. You remember the Beast Run, the Beast Quake?
Yeah. Oh,
and he did it too. But I want to get to this because this was the hot topic after this game.
The OT rules.
The OT rules.
Okay. Quick fix. You ready for this?
I swear, if we're thinking the same thing.
All right, on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. College
football. We did not talk about this. We did not have a conversation about this at all. We right there. Perfect.
I want to drive to your house and
you know what?
Right now, bro.
You know what? I'm gonna make it easier. You don't even have to do the first 2 overtimes. Straight 2-point conversions the whole way through. That is the most entertaining part about the overtime in college football, in my opinion.
Because you do first one is whichever way it goes. Like if you match a field goal, match a field goal. Match a touchdown, match a touchdown, extra point. No, because that's how the first 2 go. That's how the first 2 go, right?
But because because the thing is time. Time is an issue, right?
Yes.
Put the ball at the 5-yard line. 1 play, go. 1 play, go. If they both get it, run it back. High octane the whole time straight, adrenaline rush. Boom. Pay me, Roger. Pay me, Roger Goodell, right now.
Pay us. Perfect. Pay us, because we both said college rules.
You heard it.
Pay us.
This is so easy. I don't see why. Because look, I'm surprised that there's certain things I feel like that should have been taken from the XFL, the rebirth. That kick return rule.
I'm trying to remember that rule.
It was everybody was like 10 yards. It was like everybody lined up 10 yards away from each other. The kicker's the only one back there where they kick the ball off at. That way you're not having people running, and it was to help stop injuries. So you remember they was like,
oh yeah, they were like 10 yards behind or whatever.
Yeah, they were like separated like here, and it was like the trenches right there.
Okay. Yeah.
That helps with injuries because you don't have all these guys running full speed trying to hit each other. So there's one thing you can do with that.
Then speaking of football
running
leagues.
Clock.
Yeah, it did keep running. Speaking of football leagues.
Perfect.
Speaking of football leagues, the USFL is returning.
Ooh.
In April of this year.
We need more football.
Then also I believe the LFL, the Legends Football League, formerly known as the Lingerie Football League, that is making a return. Google it. It's actually pretty good football. Some of the highlights I've seen of that, them women be killing each other.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Like they have the helmets they wear are like, those hockey masks, those hockey mats helmets.
Dog, I had to call you and you. I don't know, dog. Nah, and then again, right. But yeah, let's get to these predictions and then
college rules. Oh, speaking of women's tackle football, shout out to my big sister. She plays wide receiver for the Richmond Black Widows. Their season starts this year in April.
I'm thinking the right person, right? Okay. Dope. All right, conference weekend.
Her second game is in Hampton. They got a game in Hampton in like the second weekend in April. So your weekend's open.
All right, so first we got Joe Shiesty, as the internet calls her nowadays.
Yeah, they all calling him Joe Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty, Joe Burt.
I'm calling him Joe Cool.
I saw somebody push back on the Joe Cool.
Oh, because of Joe.
Clearly, because of Joe Flacco.
Man, Joe Flacco was not Joe Cool when he won that Super Bowl. He was like,
this man was elite. The only thing elite about him was his Nike socks. Shout out to Chisel Adonis.
We need to get that dude back on here.
Oh, definitely. I got so Joe Shiesty versus the Kermit. Like I said earlier, I got Chiefs.
I think Joe Burrow, the way I look at Joe Burrow's play, Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times. Got sacked 9 times in that game. 9 times, and he still found a way to.
And we're not speaking German.
Yeah, he got sacked 9 times in that game, and still found a way to rally his team, and it didn't discourage him. He still found a way to rally his team and get the win. Plus,
the thing is how because being sacked like that, you kind of gotta wonder.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, another thing, he's also a runner, like Patrick Mahomes is.
Yeah,
and like he's like scary. He's like kind of like sneaky fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a missing contract signing.
Definitely, I do see. I'm hoping for a gunfight, but I want the Bengals, but it's hard for me to pick against Pat Mahomes, man. That dude is something else.
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes is something else.
It's kind of hard to bet against Patty.
Yeah, it's hard.
Patty
gotta go with the Red Raider. I'm taking the Red Raider over the Tiger on this one because he went to Texas Tech and Burrow went to LSU. So taking the Red Raider here. Yeah,
it's gonna be this is gonna be the offensive game of the week. I feel like you got one offensive game, then the NFC game is gonna be the defensive game. With 2
By the way, maybe look for us potentially on Sunday. Live reactions.
Yeah, we actually are talking about doing some live commentary. I was listening to Perna and Grossi, then I switched over to Chisel down as a late. We should do this.
Oh, hot mic? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to look into doing that. Rams, 49ers. I got Niners, man. The Rams it's their kryptonite. I was talking to my aunt and I was like, I told her, all right, I'm gonna turn this down. They're doing weigh-in now. But
who is it for? That's for Brock and
Lashley and I thought they were gonna save that for the last segment, but they're doing their weigh-in now. But Aaron Donald is a beast.
Aaron Donald is a beast.
Until he plays against the 49ers.
Yeah, that last game was not. I
can't remember a game where he's dominated against the Niners. It seems like just the Niners have his number.
And they do. I think I'm going with the Niners here because they're my dad's team, and yeah, if any, it'd be nice to see because the last time we watched the Super Bowl together, it was that Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and that didn't go his way. So I think the pure joy of seeing my dad watch the 49ers win a Super Bowl will, plus I'd rather the bragging rights. Like I'd rather hear it from 49ers fans than Rams fans.
Yeah. 2 observations are already on Raw. Brock Lesnar is killing me with his cowboy hat, and 2, DoorDash is sponsoring the Royal Rumble. I don't know how to feel about that. But yeah, I got Niners and Chiefs for a rematch. Maybe the Niners find a way to not choke away the Super Bowl this year.
Although if the Bengals upset the Chiefs, Joe Burrow's the truth. Man.
Yeah, definitely.
Joe Burrow, we got to start looking at Joe Burrow as the truth. Like,
oh no, most definitely. There's no question about it. They just need to get that line right, and then you have a Super Bowl caliber team on your hands.
With Jamar Chase doing his thing.
Like Jamar Chase is a beast. And don't get me wrong, they have a complete offense.
Very complete. So
All right, so let's get to Audacity.
Let's talk about some Audacity. Like, so when I say Audacity,
It's quite the drug, I should say.
it is. It is. It's like cocaine. It's like cocaine because one of the things I'm gonna read y'all a headline that has pretty much all three. It has Audacity, it has fragility, and it has insecurity as well. But actually, first of all, I want to break down. First of all, I think fragility. I'm on TikTok, right? And sometimes I will run across videos of women doing very athletic things, i.e., throwing a perfect spiral, playing football, tackle, or flag, like throwing a nice pitch in baseball. Like, for example, I followed this one particular Japanese woman who plays baseball on TikTok. She'll be in the batting cage. Her form is pretty decent. You know, she got good speed. I can't really see the speeds, but her form is good, you know, and all that because, you know, baseball is big over there. And some people will be in the comments of not just her videos, but other videos of women doing athletic stuff like, oh, well, that's not that impressive, or I can do better than that, or...
I do need to interject here.
Go ahead.
Because I will say, and this is where I start to understand especially with TikTok.
Yeah.
I would say look at the account saying it. Because I'm starting to understand now that a lot of people troll just for the sake of trolling. And when you start seeing these people in real life, they're nothing like this. So when you brought up the whole thing about fragility and Audacity, I look more at it as a real life thing because social media, I'm gonna put it like this, social media is fake.
Yes.
9 times out of 10, you're not who you are on social media in real life. So that's why when you brought this up, I was like, okay, this will be a perfect time to use it because this is a real life situation that we can always look at. So I know you sent me the tweet. So I just want to sit it here and we can go through it. So
what we got
I guess
here
this is it looks like a smoothie place. It's not tropical.
First of all, one thing you have here, first of all, let's point out you have a man and a woman. A woman is the employee. A man, Anthony, can you please describe what this man looks like? He's obviously in his middle-aged. What else can you tell me about this man?
It looks like he has an ugly fade.
That's a terrible
fade. You're just going for the obvious?
The obvious. Give me the obvious.
Well, he's on the lighter side of the brown scale.
I heard somebody call him a napkin.
See, I don't partake in that side of the petty, but yeah, as you can see, my shirt says human. I always say that every single person on this earth is.
I think the funniest one I ever heard, and it still kind of gets me, is palm colored. That always gets me.
Your palms are very, very light tan. So yeah.
This
man is a very, very light tan.
He's a very light tan. He's very palm colored, put it that way.
Yes, he's a very light tan. But so, I'm going to play this real quick, and I want to discuss it because I don't think it's. All right, you're in timeout. Well, let's go through this.
He's built like a paper towel.
Tell me you can hear first of all.
I cannot.
Can you hear?
We can. I can't.
We'll just give commentary.
So basically, he's obviously upset with what he got. He seems to be very upset. So, yeah, he's pointing.
Upset. He's pointing.
Waving the smoothie around. So I did some reading.
At this point, he's saying that he wants to call corporate.
Yes. Apparently, he was not too happy with. I'm trying to make sure I find this.
And there it was right there. That's the moment I knew something was wrong. And it was another part that really grinded my gears. But this is step one. So this lady here, and I guess the one in the blue was evidently the one that he came for in the first place because she was the one that was already on 10 as the video started, as the person behind the camera saying, "Chill out, I'm recording." It's just like, I don't care.
This is also in Connecticut, by the way.
Of course it is. Of course.
It's in Connecticut.
Of course.
So apparently, he is he was saying he blamed them for having an allergic reaction that sent his son to the hospital. That's according to this article I'm reading. It was an allergic reaction that sent his son to the hospital.
So wait, whoa. Did that smoothie send his son to the hospital?
This particular smoothie
that he has in his hand.
It says like 40. All right, return. He returned to the place on Saturday after signing an allergic reaction, demanding that they tell him who put peanut butter in the drink. When they could not provide an answer, he threw the drink at an employee, which hit him in the right shoulder, as you can see in the video where it hit the girl in the blue hoodie. He also made references. I don't know if you heard it about immigration status.
Yeah. That was going to get to that in a second. So that I guess that's why context is necessary. Granted, I'm not going to excuse his actions.
No.
Now, from a standpoint, which I'm not a parent, if something that was given to your child has sent them to the hospital, I'm sure that there is a possibility that you're going to be rather upset as a parent.
Okay, so Charlie Hill, one of the employees, right. Charlie Hill, 17, who I believe is the one in the blue hoodie. That's what I believe. She said there are options when ordering either on an app or in person to alert the staff of an allergy. The staff will then follow protocols to avoid direct cross-contamination. Hill did not make the drink and couldn't speak to how it was made or what ingredients were used. She had only just arrived when it was made. He said just no peanuts in it, but if you don't say you have a nut allergy, which is an option on the app, or in person, we use different stuff if there's a nut allergy. So he didn't say anything.
So
this is what she's saying.
So is it a possibility that they didn't put peanuts in there, but something else that was in the smoothie had nuts in it?
Well, here's the other thing. Now, I'm not saying he's wrong he's not telling the truth about the hospital thing.
Right.
However, it's
you could in all honesty, we can only go based off the evidence given to us.
Right.
So you bring up the context of him being upset about his son going to the hospital off of the drink. And when you're mad, let's be real. When you're mad, you aren't thinking. So clearly this man is mad, and clearly he's not thinking.
When he returned to the store, he was aggressive and immediately began yelling at the staff. At first, the group of teenagers.
So again, not fully developed brains, and you come in yelling, fussing at teenagers.
They were respectful.
They're going to immediately get defensive.
Yes, she said.
So this is a whole situation of just straight up emotions clashing off rip.
Like I said, she and Hill, like I said, I'm pretty sure she's the one in the blue hoodie. She said she was called to come in early on Saturday because her store was busy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a feeling like, oh man, I probably really don't want to be here for this, but so be it. Then he said he returned. They were respectful, but the situation escalated. He was like, I'll be waiting for you guys to get off work. He kept threatening us. He kept trying to get into the door saying racial slurs. He kept trying to get into the employee area, which if you see later in the video, where the lady was pushing back, he's trying to get in through there.
And I keep saying that being angry, he's not thinking. This is not me excusing his actions because his actions are completely inexcusable.
He directed what Hill described as racial slurs, including an immigrant loser.
Yeah, that was clear in he called him an immigrant. Yeah, that was clear in the video. Which again, inexcusable actions. The thing is, so here's my thing. The man's in the wrong. Clearly, the teenagers are there, and from what has been said, were unaware of the prior issue.
Employees told police that he did ask for his drink to be made without peanut butter, but made no mention of an allergy. Which is why I'm not saying that the thing about his son having an allergy is not truthful, but
So the thing is, because maybe that's why we made that question earlier, saying because if he asked for no peanut butter, okay, they didn't put peanut butter in there. Something else in the ingredients must have contained peanuts.
Must have triggered it,
right? Because he asked for no peanut butter. Cool.
Because
if you put peanut butter in it after he said no peanut butter, then yes, you're in the wrong.
Yeah. Because think about it. Think about this. It takes more than one ways to get a headache. I can get a headache from hitting my head on my desk, or I can get a headache from not drinking water.
Right. So that's why, again, I guess that's why they say make sure you specify. Oh, I have a peanut allergy, which that way they can say, okay, cool. Then it must be more than peanut butter that's in here that triggered the allergy. So we kind of got to that point. Now he walks in already on 10.
Yes.
I'm assuming that the majority of the teenage girls that were working were not, well, especially the ones that he initially came for.
Which is her.
She wasn't there yet.
No, the one they interviewed, which I don't think was her. It may have been her. I'm honestly not 100% sure. But they interviewed, her name is Charlie Hill, and she's 17. That's who they interviewed.
All right. So
they did say the person, so this person, whoever he was interacting with was Hill's friend and a coworker, confronted him directly. So probably one of her friends is the blue hoodie, and then this is the coworker.
Okay.
Hill is the one recording.
Summer Rae just like my tweet.
Hill is the one recording. Charlie Hill is the one recording.
Like literally, Summer Rae just like my tweet.
That's good.
Dango says Summer Rae's a legend. I quote you, is like, y'all heard Dango.
But yeah. Hill's the one recording. And then, yeah. So my thing about this is, I get it. I honestly understand why there's a work shortage now in America. Because I wouldn't want to deal with this.
No.
I wouldn't want to deal with this. I wouldn't want to deal with this, or in other cases. Where's this other case? Where let me find it. Another teenage girl walked out of her job because over a mask. Because she was in there and the people she was talking to, the woman wasn't wearing a mask. She was asking, hey ma'am, can you put on a mask or wear a mask in here? And then the manager comes up, right? And so they get into it. She's getting into it with a couple, like by herself. Then the manager comes over and the manager is like, she's looking for the manager to help, like, hey, tell him to put on a mask. Can you tell him to put on a mask because everybody else is wearing a mask or whatever? And then she doesn't back her up. And
now,
so
I need to ask.
let me find here. I'm trying to find the article first.
So
go ahead.
Is this store, because remember I was saying about a lot of these states now are leaving that up to the private sector. Is this store saying that they need to have it on?
It's been a year.
Which is going to be a thing that a lot of people are probably going to, depending on your stance on masking. That's a lot of what people are going to have to pay attention to now, because there's going to be places, especially in our state now, with the private sectors having more power on what they decide.
The article I'm looking at doesn't have a place, but it says the waitress did list out the rules applicable in many other food. She had a list of rules for it. For said. thing.
Well, I guess it comes down to if just the execution of the higher ups. So the enforcement of the higher ups. If the higher ups say enforce it, cool. If the higher ups are saying nah, then at that point it's going to be a choice between you saying, well, I don't feel safe here, which you're entitled to that feeling, and you say, all right, it's time for me to go somewhere else.
So the waitress, like I said, listed out the rules. She explains how the customers need to wear a mask as they walk inside and make their way to a table, at which point they can remove their mask, which is fair.
I still don't see the purpose, but okay.
I mean, she further says she has lipstick on and cannot wear the mask.
Which is so weird. Okay. Oh, okay. That's also a stupid reason, but okay.
Like you're talking about the customer or
the lipstick. I have a lipstick, so I can't wear.
She said the lady who was seen holding her face mask in her hands. In her hand, she has her mask.
So oh my lord.
The waitress, the lady walks into the mask. The waitress lists the rules out and explains that they need to wear a mask in there, and then they can remove the mask when they get to the table. That's whatever. But the lady who was seen holding the mask in her hands was quite adamant and said that she does not understand why she has to wear a mask when they're just entering 5 feet into the restaurant.
So you already had the intention to wear it in the first place. You had it in your hands. So you just wanted to cause a ruckus.
She further says she has lipstick on and cannot wear the mask. At this point, the waitress brings in the manager, who again tries to convince the woman to wear her mask. The video shows that the waitress is a customer in a heated argument where the customer says that wearing a mask does not make sense since she is already in the restaurant.
It's a lot of nonsensical statements in this whole thing and nonsensical actions. This just seems like a whole story that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, well, mind you, this is based off a video.
First of all,
this is all based off video. You can see the video for yourself.
Okay, I'm just saying. First of all, just stop wearing cheap lipstick. That can handle that situation. 2, you had it in your hand in the first place. Just put it on. It's not that big a deal. 3, yeah, that whole thing of walking in and then sitting down and just take it right back off for like a whole 30 seconds is weird to me, but it is what it is.
She further says she does not get paid enough to be serving in the restaurant. She says the waitress also, before that, the waitress said, is because of people like the woman with the cheap lipstick who make having a job difficult. And that's where I say I 100% get why people aren't actively looking for work, especially in customer service jobs.
At this point, customer service, you're just going to have to know that you're going to have to do it. You're going to have need to have a lot of patience. And that's before the pandemic. Customer service is one of those jobs where if you don't have the patience for it, if you don't have the patience, this is not for you.
I was going to say that, or if you work it long enough and you build up, you know what I mean? But it's a build up, you know what I mean?
But even without the pandemic, because a lot of the things I'm starting to realize is a lot of the things that's been pushed during the pandemic has been stuff that should have been being pushed before the pandemic even started. Oh, wash your hands, y'all. It took a whole worldwide pandemic for y'all to start washing your hands, and some of y'all still don't wash your hands at this point. You nasties.
It's one of those things where it's like,
if you're sick, stay at home. Yeah, you should have been doing that in 2020 in 2011.
It's one of those things where it's like the waitress then takes off her apron, storms out of the restaurant, saying she's quitting. The manager runs after her. At this point, the anti-mask woman says, "Fine, I'll wear the mask. Are we happy?"
Oh my gosh, this is so ridiculous.
It is
on all parties. Well, not so much on the person, but everything else around it is just ridiculous to me. If it's part of the rules for that business, you have no other choice but to go ahead and comply with it because they have every right to kick you out.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's because all these. This is where I was going back to about audacity, fragility, and security. This is where fragility comes in. This woman is so fragile that she didn't want to move. She didn't want to move. She's like, no, like it doesn't make sense. Like, and then she said like, oh, I have lipstick on. I can't wear a mask. And then all of a sudden, as soon as it escalates to the point where you're causing this person to quit their job on the spot.
Now you're ready to go ahead.
Now you feel like I'm with you. I feel like she did her sole purpose of being in that situation was that's it.
Yeah. And that's like I told you when you asked us to talk about this earlier today, I was like, that's why I asked who in what way, because you can bring this up to anything, because yes, the two examples that we used so far has been palm colored people, and a lot have been seemingly based on the way they've acted, then probably more so to the right part of the spectrum of the line. But we've also seen it come from the other side of that spectrum. We've also seen it in different other demographics. We've seen it with Black people. We've seen it with other. It's fragility. Because when you go on the internet now, the big term is white fragility, as if other people don't get fragile either.
Like I was saying before,
no, it's not you. It's not you.
No, I was alluding to before with all those. Now they're probably trolls, and you're right, they're trolls. But then some of those dudes who comment that have profile pictures. I don't know if they're real or not. But I'm saying like they're making all these comments under all these, like I said, women doing athletic stuff or women just being awesome and saying, "Oh, that's not that impressive." I can do that. I was watching people criticize. There was this like 7-year-old girl taking her black belt test in Japan, and she was doing the techniques, nice, like smooth technique and all that. People were commenting, "Oh, I don't know if people were finding a way to criticize that." It's just, and then insecurity. I think honestly, I think gang culture in the U.S. is trash. It's like the most softest thing on earth.
You mean gang culture? Like
gang culture? Huh?
You mean like
I think all that's soft. Do you know why I think it's soft?
It's because you're not P Dog. That's why.
No, that's not what. No, that's not why I think it's soft. You know why I think it's soft? Because I've been watching a lot of Korean dramas recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I did some research on my own. Do you know, and it's not even because of gun laws, do you know how they handle stuff between gangs in places like Korea and Asia? They meet up at a spot and they throw hands with swords.
That's not the way things are now.
I understand. No, but
I
understand that. But I'm saying the fact that and this isn't like, some of these shows are based in like 2018, 2019. You see what I'm saying?
Because everybody got a tool now.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. That's why it's fucking soft.
And
SAWFT, soft.
Soft?
Yes, I said it. I think it's soft.
I kind of got into that when I was doing my Tell the Truth, part of my Tell the Truth series. Folk just walking in my room and whatnot.
Nobody cares.
Shut up. And I was talking about how, like, did you hear about the Jay-Z and Meek Mill trying to petition to get my sister's over. Oh my gosh. That's going in the blue profile.
I'm crying, bro. I'm crying.
And it's probably the loudest you ever heard my sister talk.
I got tears in my eyes. Oh my god!
But
no
I was
respect
talking
for
about it
your
on my video
They
about
have no
how
respect for your. She just kicked in the door.
I don't know what she brought in my room either. We gonna fight. But yeah, they're trying to get a law passed in New York to where they can't prosecute rappers for basically self-incriminating themselves in the way that guys like YNW Melly did and Bobby Shmurda. And I was talking about how a lot of these people they're in this. They go out here, kill people, and then rap about it. Like it's so stupid.
Did I tell you how I felt about that? I don't think, because you did it yourself, but I think we talked about this a while ago.
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing I've always said when it comes to people when they get themselves in situations like that. Like with our idiot dude who wanted to cause a ruckus in the smoothie shop.
You make your bed.
He's fired, by the way. He's fired, by the way. He lost his job.
You lay in it.
Huh?
Make your bed and you lay in it.
Exactly. That's why I feel no sympathy for Melly. I really don't. I have no sympathy for that. I have no sympathy for Bobby Shmurda, even though he's out now. I hope he gets healthy or whatever help he needs. You know what I mean? I had no sympathy for 6ix9ine. I still have no sympathy for 6ix9ine. I have no sympathy for any of those people. None. And as much as I love Jay-Z and Meek, I think this is probably one of the stupidest things they ever tried to invest in.
This is definitely one of the stupidest things.
And I know those guys are smart, but this is not the hill. This is not the road. This is not that good. This is not the road paved with good intentions that you think it is.
And that's why I said in my I put up there, stop self-incriminating yourselves. Yeah, if you tell these rappers to be smart, and that's the thing, these rappers, and I feel like there's OGs out there that's probably trying to tell them about themselves, and they just don't want to listen. Because half these dudes, they just want to live this lifestyle. They think it's cool.
This lifestyle, okay, I say this lifestyle.
And then it's polluting. And then it's polluting kids that don't even. It's suburban kids thinking they supposed to be like these idiots. That's the part that bugs me. It's young kids that's living in the suburbs, bro.
That now living as a guy
living in $100,000 houses, both parents in the house, and you think you got to be out here toting guns.
As someone who, well, I didn't do the last part, but as somebody who did think like, hey, I gotta, in order to fit in, I gotta listen to certain people.
I thought that too, but you know what? I had a mother, father, and grandparents right here saying, no, boy, you better get your head out the gutter and get your mind right.
Same. I don't think I stopped listening to gospel music until college, when my buddy introduced me to Dragon Force, and then everything changed after that. And then if I Run the Jewels.
Is KO bleeding?
Yeah, then if I Run the Jewels.
Busted open. But yeah, it's just it doesn't make sense to me.
At the very least, if you're gonna listen to stuff that's gonna change you, listen to healthy stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like listen to, I keep harping on them all the time. Listen to Run the Jewels, Killer Mike.
Funny thing is, Killer Mike was involved in that. I was like, dog, really? No, I really like Killer Mike. No, bro, that ain't it, dog.
I mean, okay, he's aside from that, this.
I know. I was just disappointed with the fact that his name was involved in this.
They tried to comfort Killer Mike on Twitter recently too, because he. So the thing people don't realize about Killer Mike is he does what Ice Cube did. He does what Ice Cube does, or Ice Cube did during the 2020 election. I don't know if he's still doing it, but he played both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like a lot of people were accusing him of being in the governor of Georgia's pocket. Wasn't he Governor Kemp, I think?
Because he's trying to get involved in the political
Exactly.
Thing.
He's trying to he is actively trying to
So
hold.
he's trying to do what
he's practicing what he's preaching.
So here's my issue.
With
so he's because
or...
just everybody's talking about this. So he's been talking to Governor Kemp, which we know he's a Republican.
Yes.
What's the problem with that?
Apparently people are apparently nothing, because I guess nothing's getting done. Or nothing's
getting done with Democrats either.
I guess.
So what?
I don't know.
Okay, so nothing's getting done with Democrats. Nothing's getting done with Republicans if you don't try. What? How does it hurt to try? Because people did the same thing to Ice Cube 2 years ago when he tried to sit down with Joe Biden, and he sat down with Donald Trump. Joe Biden's crew said, "Yeah, we'll get that with you after the election's done." The election's been over for well over a year, and as far as I know, that meeting has never happened. So, but he was a coon for sitting down and meeting with Donald Trump.
Yeah, well,
regardless of whether you like the guy or not, it doesn't hurt to try.
This is the same energy they're trying to come at with Killer Mike because he sat down with them.
This is my issue.
He's been doing that, honestly.
Exactly. This is my issue with us. If I'm not mistaken, now I'm going to research it again. I want to say Malcolm X had a meeting with the Ku Klux Klan. Let me look this up. I read somewhere that Malcolm X met with the KKK leaders to discuss the creation.
To discuss what?
There's articles out here where it's saying that evidently he met with the KKK. Hold on, let me pull one of these up. This is from the Independent. So I don't know if these are 100% accurate. But he met with the KKK leaders to discuss the creation of a black state. He met with the ops. The man's met with the ops.
KKK is about as ops as you can get.
Exactly. So if you consider the Republicans your ops, or your Democrats your ops,
or the devil your ops.
All right, that's a little too far. I'm not meeting with him. No, sir. But meeting with the if you consider yourself a Democrat, Republican, Independent, I don't see how it's a bad thing, because you know what? And these idiots in The View did the same thing to Cory. Was it Cory Booker?
Yeah. No. Van
Jones.
Yeah.
They tried to clown Van Jones because of a picture with Candace Owens. So two black people can't take a picture together now? So anytime somebody tries to do anything that could possibly help somebody, they're always met with ridicule. And it's always calling them Uncle Tom or Uncle Tom. If people would read the story, then they would be saying Uncle Tom. If you would read the book, you wouldn't be calling people Uncle Toms if you're trying to degrade them. But you're trying to call them a Sambo or a coon or whatnot.
Just Reed doesn't work. You ever see that? You see the episode of the Boondocks where they try to exercise Stick Meter? He told that dude to read.
What's my phrase for the year, Isaac?
Say what?
What's my phrase for the year? Less what, more what? Less beef, more books. I got the Malcolm X book waiting for me to buy it.
I'm currently reading Lies My Teacher Told Me.
Ooh. I'm on the Thomas Sowell wave right now.
Yeah.
So I'm reading about different things there. Just trying to understand just better understanding of things now. Because whether I 100% agree with Thomas Sowell was saying or not. I want to read things to gain a better perspective, and that's been my whole thing for the last year or so. At the end of the day, I want to understand why people think the way they do. Tell me better. But
like, this is why I personally have been talking with a friend of mine, and he is conservative leaning. But me and
you can
him
talk to me
had
too, sorry.
no, but I'm saying like, but it's a guy I serve with. Me and him have been having a good dialogue. We haven't had one recently due to recent events in sports, but like me and him really talked and we really agreed on a lot of stuff. Most of it was like, yo, how the media is just out of control.
So you know what it tells me? Because you're more right leaning, he's more left leaning. You know what it tells me? Or you're probably more center leaning.
Yeah.
But you know what it tells me? And you could probably bring a right leaning person in there as well. It tells me, and this is something that we have still yet to understand as a whole. We're a lot more alike than we want to admit. Whether you are Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, or just don't care, there is a common ground that people can stand on. And
I will say this though. I will say this. One thing I do draw the line at is fundamentalist Christians. I don't like those people.
why not?
Well, it's the people that get up in the it's people that get up in the pulpit and say like the most misogynistic and like homophobic and borderline racist stuff up there in the pulpit in the middle of service. I can't rock with that. I can't rock with that.
You got to really pay attention to what they're saying and then watch them.
But like I can't rock with that.
You got to watch them too. Because a
I just seen
a lot of times the most judgmental folk are always hiding something.
Because I just
now
seen
there are things that you have to stand.
There's so many
your ground on, but at the same time, there is a way to go about it. Without
I can't rock with misogyny in general. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can't rock with hate. Period.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like not just I say misogyny like that same time. Like all of it. But like plus I had been seeing like a lot of like just reading articles. Like I'll be scrolling through Google and you know how Google will have trends or whatever.
Yeah.
Someone says like Florida pastor headline, and then you click on it and it's some pastor doing something off the wall.
It's Florida.
But it's not just in Florida. It was just like that was just an example. Say like Florida, Oklahoma, Nevada, somewhere, name a state, pastor, this, and then you look it up and it's them doing something completely crazy or saying something in the pulpit completely crazy. Like that's not. I don't think that's why you were selected to do the job that you're doing if you even were selected for it. You know what I mean?
Hey.
I don't know. Man.
I don't want to throw any judgment out there. That's why I say watch them, and time will tell whether time will tell what type of person they are. But that's all I got for the week, dog. Yeah. Saturday, Royal Rumble. You got any picks?
I do not.
I don't know, dog. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no earthly idea.
I
do know Brian. The last thing I saw, Brian Cage had a pretty decent match with Will Ospreay at Warrior Wrestling this past weekend. That was really good. Jonathan Gresham was not at the World on GCW for some unknown reason, but Leo Rush was there. Leo Rush fought Blake Christian.
That's all right.
Nick Gage returned, and Mox is still world GCW World Champion. So, but AJ Gray
shout out to AJ Gray for taking the L on his chin, dog.
Yeah, AJ Gray
was getting cooked.
he won that ladder match to grab the brass ring, so that means he can get a title shot whenever he wants, and potentially become GCW World Champion again, which I hope he does. Also, shout out to AC Mack for being the first the first openly gay world champion in professional wrestling.
Congrats.
Oh, by the way, for those who say, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal because the IWTV World Championship is not a title, not a world championship," as of October of last year, it is.
It is a world title.
Yeah.
So congrats.
Huh?
Congrats. I've never seen his work, but congrats.
Yeah, but it is a world championship.
Yeah,
it is. They did some big award to where that and the Pan-African Diaspora Championship that Trisadora still has.
I was still under the impression that Will Yuta was still champion. I didn't know he had lost it.
No, he lost it to Alex Shelley. The last couple of champions have been Wheeler Yuta, who lost it to Alex Shelley, and who just lost it to AC Mack. So, and before that, I think Warhorse had it before Wheeler Yuta did.
But are they counting him as a world champion, even though he wasn't?
So they're all technically former world champions.
Okay.
Good for them. Good for them. Also, Warhorse defeated Rohit Raju at that Warrior Wrestling show.
I didn't know Rohit was not in Impact anymore.
Yeah. I didn't know that either.
Because I didn't notice that, but he was at AEW Dark.
Yeah, I saw that. That's where Matt Taven is now, Ring of Honor. Impact. Matt Taven, Vincent, PCO, Mike Bennett, and
even though he still got me blocked.
And Maria Kanellis. They're all on Impact.
It's so funny how Maria unblocked me, but Mike didn't.
That is funny. But
I didn't even say anything disrespectful. I just asked the question. And I asked Maria the question. Mike just blocked me.
Yep, that's all.
I didn't even say a word to Mike. I have never tweeted Mike in my life, but I'm blocked by him. It's hilarious. It's hilarious how I get blocked for things. Like I got blocked last week. It was the stupidest thing I got blocked for, and I actually have the tweet. It was so hilarious for why I got blocked, and I was like, "Yo, this really got me blocked." Let me see if I can find it because this is the funniest thing ever to me. And I think it probably had something to do. Oh, here it is. So they were still complaining about the Gunter Stark. And so I say it's just Gunter. Stark isn't happening now. I get blocked for that.
By who?
I don't even know anymore because he blocked me. I literally get blocked for saying that it's not Gunter Stark. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Evidently, I just end up conversing with the most sensitive people on this app. Like usually, I don't revert to name calling. So a lot of people are like, oh, you're an idiot. It was like, no, I'm just gonna sit here and say what I gotta say, and I'm gonna make you mad using words. Like I literally make people mad by saying, no, you're not right. I'm going to show you why you're wrong. And I'm going to go about my way. As you can tell.
That's that fragility, man.
Fragility, because I got blocked by a black TikTok creator because of the Martin Luther King quote.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
This happened months ago. I was like, dude, I gave you the entire quote. You blocked me for it.
It's like, I did you a favor.
I mean, I'm sorry that you just misquoted the thing. It's not my fault, bro. But
fragility is something else, bro.
With all that being said, we're gonna get enough out of here. I need to prepare myself for tomorrow. With that being said, we out. Peace, love, Pop Tarts. And always remember to drink water. Deuces.
Peace. It's hilarious.